All right, we're back. It's day 2. I got another sketch ready. Check out the reference. Got this old lady. Okay. I'm just going to do it right here. And I think we're going with the feud nib. Feude? Tell me, what is it? I don't know. It feels French, but I don't think it is. I'm probably just an idiot. All right. Here we go. I need a mildly sharp pencil, an eraser, and I always have a little bit of a trouble with heads when they're kind of tilted, and especially, gosh, with this little ring. I wonder if maybe I should start flipping it over so I don't have to rest my hand there. It's kind of rough. All right. I'm actually just going to start with the eyes. Kind of get the tilt, I'm going to figure out bottom of the chin, right about there. Probably some nose action. Its head's kind of like tilted forward a little too, so nose is about there. Got an eye there. Another eye. Kind of there. Kind of seeing like the top lid, and then it's overlapping the bottom. If that makes sense. So what I should probably be doing is like outlining the entire head right now. But I kind of want to just get this idea locked in before I waste any more time. What I'm figuring out, like the side of the head, I'm just kind of like looking at the space between the negative space and kind of guessing about how wide that would be, comparing it to the other features. See, I feel like the nose is probably too high. Put that forehead somewhere here. Now when I think of the face, I tend to think of this mask shape, right? It's like you get it curves in the temples. You have the forehead's kind of like a square generally. And this mask, depending on the angle that you're seeing it, these kind of curve in really tight. If it's like a straight face, like over here, it would be, But since we're looking down, it's going to kind of curve out. That helps me a lot to figure out lighting and just helps my brain kind of visualize the form, I think. It's a simplified version of a head shape. I know everybody really likes the Loomis method, and I feel like there's some stuff that I've always taken from that I think is really important, like kind of locking in the eyes as like this sort of cutout shape. I think Ron Lemon, a long time ago, I watched some of his videos, like Gnome Workshop, I think, and he went through and broke down how he designs a head, and that always stuck with me. It's like a cutout, like a whistle shape, like this sort of shape for the eye socket, right? And you'd have like a nose here, and then your eye would fit inside of there. And then that mask kind of comes down like that. That makes sense. That's something that's always kind of worked for me. All right, this lady's got... This nose is a little tricky. I always feel like noses when they're angled this way are a little tricky. So what I'm going to do is kind of line it up here. That. Bit of a, this is kind of indicating the eye socket. And then the outer part of the cheekbone. Things are just a little jowly, you know. Once again, though, this is why, I was talking about in the last video, why I don't like to draw, you know, conventionally attractive people, is because they're not as interesting. And I find that more authentic looking people tend to be more fun and more of a challenge. You can learn so much more from drawing them too. You know, if you draw everybody as like a perfect smooth-faced model, like what are you going to be learning? Like how are you going to apply that to your art? Is everybody that you draw going to look the same? So that's just my personal opinion. Got a bit of a neck, some neck meat. What do you call that? Just kind of got her shoulders up. It's like leaning forward. Now, one thing to note too, when you're drawing someone and their head is sort of angled down, you want to make sure that the ears end up looking higher, because that helps to, you know, you gotta think like if you were shifting this way, the things on the side are going to end up looking higher. So I think that's something I noticed a lot with like more beginner artists. They put the ears in the same place no matter what, because they think, oh, they align with, you know, the eyebrow. Well, only when it's straight on. And then when it's, you know, the head's low, it's the opposite, where the ears will be down here. Okay. Almost done with the pencil here, I think. Just need to figure out the hair. This was kind of backwards from the last one I did. And who knows if it'll turn out as good. Maybe I'd be better off having the full head shape in there. I'm thinking this might be too long. I don't know. Might be alright. Also, I'm curious, I was thinking the other day, like, if you guys can help me find some really good ink artists. You know, I know we all know Kim Jong-il was the master of all ink, but there's got to be some other people who are still really killing it out there that I would love to watch some of their videos and get better at this too. Alright, so I think that might be enough for pencil. Maybe a little crooked. I don't know. Her face has got a little bit of a, I don't know, it's like a little, like this is going up higher, it's like a little crooked. Maybe I just need to kind of emphasize this not being so long. I don't know, I'm noodling, I'm wasting time. I don't need to be. Alright. Let's go. I'm going to start over here in the hair just because, like I said, I don't like to start in a scary spot at first. So I'm just using this pen today. Like, you know, yesterday I was using that Twisby one, and I'm just trying to figure out why it's so scratchy. I think maybe the tines aren't aligned or something. Maybe I just need to look at it more. I do feel like this one kind of lets me, because it flows so well, I can just be less precise with things and just kind of chill, you know? Like, I'm cool with it not looking perfect. So we're making a sketchbook, we're not making like a final piece of art here, right? I think at some point too I would really like to start really figuring out how to push a lot of these shapes and make serious, fun caricatures. I think it's hard though. It's harder than just drawing a normal sketch. But it's good. I think it's good practice because you're trying to like simplify shapes and exaggerate other shapes. The longer I'm doing art, the more I'm realizing that simplification is key to really everything. Coming in here to just kind of, I'm just going to outline these a little bit. There's like a darker shape. The sun's kind of coming top down in this image. The lips are kind of smashed together here. They're real thin. Sorry, I'm getting real focused here and trying not to mess up here. Eyes are stressing me out. All right, feeling better. Do you ever feel like there's, one eye that you are always better at drawing? For me, at least on like a 3/4 view, the far eye. Like, what is that about? I can never get it on the first try. Especially if I'm just making it up. I'm like, I always need to figure out a reference for that. Alright, we're coming in with the fat side here. Thicken these up. This is where it gets scary with these smaller sketches. I do like how I can just flip between like a thick line and a thin line on one tool. I'm always all about like how can I make things as efficient as possible, so I don't like to have a lot of pens or brushes, or I just like to go and like, with a lot of my digital stuff lately, I've just been sticking to two to three brushes tops, like an airbrush and then a couple of paint brushes. I do want to figure out how some people get like crazy rendering. There's this guy, and I feel stupid for not knowing his name. He does a ton of Warhammer stuff. I follow him on YouTube. I watch all of his things. Adrian something. I want to say Smith. I don't know if that's right. Anyway, dude's a legend. And I don't know how he gets so much detail and like crazy, beautiful, perfect shading and rendering with like just microns. It's crazy. I think it's Adrian Smith. That sounds right. Okay, I'm thinking I'm just going to block in this whole chunk. The only thing to get used to with this pen is you have to kind of hold it at a higher angle, but it's not the worst thing. You do also get cool brush marks like that. Ooh, I might be running out, actually. Could be almost time for a refill here. I should be able to make it through this, though. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that, actually. Probably go through here and erase just a second some of the pencil. I don't really care if I get all of it, just like the spots where I don't want really more value, you know? There we go. Alright, I'll do a little wash real quick. There's not as much with this one. It's pretty direct sunlight. Just sort of picking out like what look like more of the cast shadows right now. Get more on the bottom of the face too because it's tilting down. I always try to think about everything in 3 dimensions even when I'm drawing. I think that helps a lot when you're considering like form and stuff. I'm trying not to overdo it on the wash because I don't know how thick this paper is, but I don't want it to bleed through too bad or buckle. Alright, almost there. Dropping in some white highlights and we're good. Maybe. Just stay away from the wet parts because this pen is not waterproof. That's what happened with this guy. Actually looked cool and I kind of did it on purpose after it started, but I just kind of mushed it around with the wash and it turned this kind of bluish color, which was cool. Maybe I'll do that on our shirt. Let's see, watch. It starts to work like paint. It's interesting, at least. There's a lot of specularity on this forehead, so I'm not going to try to capture it all. You have to kind of pick and choose. and then try to figure out how to not completely overdo it. Alright. I think we're good. Maybe I will kind of blend in this a little. It's kind of got a little crazy. Okay. Yeah, what the heck, right? Alright. I think that's it. Let me know what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see more of, and yeah, later.